Grand Rising. Today I am coming on and I am sharing from the Tao Oracle by Ma Deva Padma. Today exploring Gene Key 48, which is the shadow of inadequacy, the gift of resourcefulness, the divine expression of wisdom. And in the I Ching, in the hexagram of the Tao, this is the well. And it's about seeking truth, wisdom, insight, intuitive knowing, return to the source, and getting to the bottom of things. So let's see what it has to say. The well symbolizes the place within each of us that's deep and ever-present source of renewal. Its serene depths uncorrupted by the personality. It's the source from which intuitive knowledge springs. Wisdom is drawn out of its depths, from the darkness of the unconscious into the light of understanding. In order to receive the refreshing benefits of the well, you must dive deep, turning your attention inward and bypassing external influences. Approaching the heart of wisdom requires humility. You must go naked, carrying no props for the ego, wearing no masks for the persona, unencumbered by the weight of fears or doubts. You can plunge in. Your manner of approaching the well is critical to what you will bring up. If you are denied sustenance, it's because of your attitude. For only with deep sincerity and receptivity can you partake of its timeless wisdom. To approach casually or half-heartedly is like attempting to draw water up in a cracked or broken bucket. It may be possible to gather a few drops, but your longing can never be quenched. The well is truth. Drinking from it takes time and patience and your full attention. The journey towards self-knowledge requires that we willingly enter the darkness of uncertainty. Becoming more aware has its own timing, profound in its perfection, that has nothing to do with our own personal preferences. Impatiently pushing for answers or seeking to hurry things along in the quest for knowledge invariably leads to dead ends. Nevertheless, all the apparent mistakes and wrong turns are an essential part of each person's unique process and cannot be avoided. Insight only ever comes from totally living your own experience and being guided by your own heart. Sometimes in the quest for truth, a rare opportunity occurs when we meet an individual whose deep wisdom touches our own being to the very core. The experience of their compassion and understanding can profoundly affect the course of our lives. In their presence, serenity, grace, and wisdom seem to be reflected back to us, as though we are gazing into a mirror and seeing the face of our ultimate potential. Their outpouring of wisdom seems effortless and inexhaustible. However much we partake of it, the wellspring of grace never seems to run dry. Ultimately, however, this passage with another must take us back to the heart of our own consciousness, for the final steps towards the recognition of truth can only be taken alone. We gradually come to realize that understanding surfaces from within our own self and can never, ever be supplied by another. We are blessed to be lovingly guided on the path by a spiritual teacher or a wise friend, but we can never walk their walk for them, and they can never walk that walk for us. It's a little like finally riding a bike without guardrails. At first, it's pretty shaky, but gradually we get the hang of it, and then we never turn back. To drink from the source of clarity within the depths of the self is to know the taste of the Tao. It's available to all those who thirst and are willing to dive into the core of their being to be nourished. Once you have tasted from the clear waters of consciousness, you will return to it often. It's the source that sustains and refreshes, eternally flowing like a clear spring through the whole of existence. Here are the changes. If you have Gene Key 48 in your Gene Key profile, you might like to see what that number is after the period. Lines 1 through 6 are going to be reflected here. So if you have 48.1, you may resonate with line 1. Maybe you resonate with a different one. Maybe you resonate with all of them or none of them. So bottom line, line 1. You can no longer afford to avoid the work of self-reflection. To continue doing so would be actually a waste of your potential. Line 2. The work now is to clarify your own wellspring so that you'll have something of value to offer others. Unless you can create time for self-reflection and integration, there will be an undercurrent of unhappiness and discontent that stems from a lack of self-worth. And this would undermine all that you say and diminish all that you do. What a pity that would be. Line 3. Your worth is being bypassed, and that is a shame. If others recognize what you have to offer, it would benefit everyone, including you. Unfortunately, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And however disappointing it may be, it's better to move on than to try to dry up from lack of circulation. Eventually, your contribution will be valued, but don't wait around for it. Line 4. There's a need for restructuring and reprioritizing, so hang up a temporarily out of service sign and get to work. Line 5. You have much to offer others. Give freely of your wisdom and compassion. It's meant to be shared. And top line, you are an inexhaustible source of guidance for others, and the more they seek you out, the better you feel. Your availability and natural wisdom nourishes them and simultaneously enriches your own heart. The more you give, the more you receive. And when you send a prayer out into the universe that says, use me for the highest and greatest good, for myself, for each other, and for every living being throughout all time and all space, the amount of resource from the universe that will come to you to actually execute that dream and amplify it is whoosh, it's beyond, y'all. Sending you so much love.